just dropped in. I was good. I've never been in a chat room with so many ladies. How many do we have? One. I better silence you guys on the YouTube video then, had I? Yeah, they can only hear me on there anyway, so I won't worry. I said I better mute myself. there you go. I've just unmuted my YouTube because someone just commented. So hopefully YouTube have got me back. Oh, I'm trying to multitask, and as you know, our species is not great at it. So let's call it how it is. Let's call it how it is. Although I've got 5 kids, so I've had to learn reasonably quickly how to multitask. Yeah. The eldest is turned 16 at the end of Jan, and then the youngest, Spencer, I just got him up from his nap. He is 8 months. So yeah, quite a gap. So yeah, well, I've just gone through the banner, so I'll take that subtle hint there. I'll ease off. So let's have a look. Who have we got on YouTube? No one's asking me any questions on there, so we're good. They can hear me now. No problem. No problem at all. We'll have a bit more. I think the thing with these sprints is they come really quickly. You know, they are pretty repeated with this. You've got the castle alley, then the castle reverse, and then the tower. They're so close. I don't know what your plan is, but the advice I've given to the Prem teams is just to divide them up with the team. You know, I know sometimes you'll have like 1 or 2 sprinters, but I think to get one sprinter to do all 4 sprints and focus on getting to the finish sprint, you know, there's a risk, particularly with that alley sprint because it's so long. Well, then I guess you've just got a plan to go longer. You know, we've got a rider who his 15-second power isn't that great, but his 1 minute power is fantastic. So he basically just based on going early. So you can either go early, or you've just got to absolutely use the pack and focus on the FTS rather than the FAL, and just use the pack, use the draft. I mean, my sprint's not great, but I win them because, you know, I know how to ride through the pack and know when to time the power up. Only if I'm going for FTS. So what we do is we'll split. We'll have 1 or 2 riders where their focus is first across, so they need to be closer to the front. You know, so even if they're going for a top 10 first across the line, they really need to try and stay there, unless they're super skilled at, you know, going from back to front really quickly. These sprints are sort of a moderate distance, so you might get away with it, but typically now, 3 seasons in or whatever we are, I think that, you know, if you're going for FAL, you need to be in that top 20 to make sure you're in the top 10 for the sprint. If you're just going for the FTS, doesn't matter, start right at the back, because it doesn't matter where you finish near the front on that sprint. You just got to time it right. Yeah. I always, when we're doing it for the Prem teams or my own team, I will say, Simon, you're doing FTS on castle sprint, both, and then focus on the finish. Mark might focus on the alley sprint, tower sprint. And then we'll have Lee, he's on the finish line, alley sprint, castle sprint number 1 or something like that. Just so we share the work, you know, rather than trying to rely on one rider to take all the sprint points, because on the course like this, that'll be pretty tough. Yeah. I think, you know, there's 5 segments here. You've got 4 sprints in the rooftop com, and then you've, yes, I know it's a descent, but I'm guessing you ladies are all pretty light as well. Okay, are you in the mix? Are you in the mixed, or are you just a ladies only division? Yeah, so okay, so evens itself out, but the problem I have to watch descents because I do get dropped. You know, it happened two seasons ago on Surrey Hills. I climbed up there with a group, if not ahead of the group, but then I got passed and dropped on the descent. Yeah. 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 3. I just flipped between 3 and 6. Sorry, no, yeah. You know what? I don't use 3. I use 1. I use 1 all the time. So I can always see my rider. 3 is the first person view, isn't it? So yeah. So I use 1 and 6. Basically, that's all I use when racing. Oh, is he? I'll be honest. I've given up reading comments here, so I should do. This is a recovery. This one. Yeah, I must admit, I was a bit sceptical at first, but I really like it. There's something different, and I like the fact that you can now go between the two with some of the new routes as well. This makes it a lot more interesting. And you do have to think a bit more on this course as well because it's so twisty. Yeah, so you saw it with that. I'm not sure if you saw the video with the BL13 guys braking on the Neokyo Crit City course. But obviously it was good team tactics, but it was the fact that a smaller group pushing on through the bends, you know, had a bit of an advantage anyway. And obviously out of sight, out of mind as well. Because some riders never even realised those 6 riders or 5 riders, whatever it was, disappeared off the front. You know what, I've just think I seem to be at the back of a really long group, but then I'm guessing that there must be a big split in the group somewhere. That's the problem with group rides, I guess, is you can't always see what number you are on the road. Yeah, I can't see them now. I can see them now. I think since day one they've had problems with that fence. I know there are different settings on the distance and whether it kicks people out or not. But yeah, I think a lot of people just turn it off now and try and use the chat to control. But I think there's enough people here. I think that you're just going to get groups of B riders who just ride off and so on. I have to try and drop back a bit here, so I am with another group. So how many, because I've noticed obviously you've got what, 5 or 6 different voice chats on here, so that many teams you have? Oh wow. Oh, amazing. All ladies only? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Russian, yeah. Yes. Well, what's that? The real life Tron? No, what you find is like the riders who start in, like the A riders, the pen they will start in, have either a slightly longer or shorter route than like a D group, for example. So sometimes what you'll see is there's 100 or 200 meter difference in the distances for the preems. Because obviously when I recorded the B race that I did for this course, I was in one particular pen, but then if I raced it again tomorrow and it started from another pen, it might, you know, the next sprint might be 11.3 or 11.5. Where does the name Rave come from then? Really? It was a typo. Oh man. So for you guys on YouTube who can't hear this, I've just asked them where the team Rave come from, and they've just told me it was a typo, and it should have been race team, but it turned out to be Rave team. Who was it again? Sorry, who? Michelle Ferris. Yeah, yeah, brilliant. So kind of guilty, but a stroke of genius at the same time. And I really love the way that you've really adopted that Rave mentality with the neon colours and, you know, sort of. I mean, I'm 41 now, so, you know, back in the 90s I was raving, but not so much now. Yeah, funny enough, it's very difficult to get babysitters for 5 kids. Yeah, I must admit, it is easy now. We've got a 16-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old son that, you know, you can persuade them to babysit now and again, but It normally nowadays, you know, I've got to exchange money to do that. They're not free anymore. Right, you do have to be aware, there is a little kicker as we get onto the sort of tram lines where I have seen that it's just kicked on a little bit, but you've got a bit of time till we get there. Yeah, it always helps when you've got plenty of people in the group there. You can all chip in. Yeah, it's not something the guys normally say. Not in my team anyway. But I do agree. I was. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of pink bikes around me now. A lot of pink trons. You know, I was lucky enough to get to Tokyo 3 years ago with work, so it wasn't quite like this, but it was a fantastic experience. You know what I didn't? It was with work, so I was in Hong Kong for 4 days and then Japan for 4 days, but it was like we did have 1 day exploring, but the rest was like meetings and offices and the factory that we've got over there. This is that little ramp I'm talking about. I'm at 13.6. Well, I was just thinking that, and then I saw the red Recon come up, and I was like, oh, hang on. There's so many riders. No, I'm not so sure. I want to know who you've got coming on the next ones. Have you got Sherpa Dave booked in? Mr. Geary himself? Brilliant. I was on a call with him last night actually, he never said. He's obviously keeping that secret as well. Ah, great. Anna's also great. No, she's dead keen, dead good. And I've heard her talking about you guys when I listen to the commentary in the morning, so she's a fan. Yeah. Well, I'm meant to be doing the commentary with Nathan next Thursday, this Thursday coming actually, so that'll be my first commentary on Zwift Community Live. So you guys have heard that first actually. Although I haven't told my wife Emma yet, so she's got to put kids to bed. Yeah, true. Next year. There must be an esports equivalent to the Golden Globes. Maybe we should start it. I mean, there's not many people in the running at the moment. I think, you know, Nathan, Dave, Anna. Yeah, so we'll just share it out. yes. Oh, right, okay, so with a little gig. I could tell with the giggles that it was yes, knowing each other. Let's put it that way. Yes. Is he on the ride? Just on the chat? Oh, I am surprised. Yeah, Climbers Gambit, yeah. Well, the only thing was, I haven't actually. Hey! Oh, it's nice to have a Premier rider in the group as well. Amazing. So are you all set and prepared for Monday? Yeah. And what will your focus be on this course on Monday? It's only us. It's only us in this chat. Don't worry, no one's listening. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think the difficulty with the Prem is that you've got so many riders that can all do the same job and can all compete for every segment that well, yeah, I think as he said, you've just got to base each decision on the moment, on your position. And if you're in the right position, you try and make it happen, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Go on. No, I was going to say, I think there are some courses where the sprinters is about the skill and the knowledge of whether it's on the descent or just coming up to a climb and knowing how to pick the speed up at the right time. Whereas, you know, if you look at the classic course, other than that little rise when you come off the mall, it's flat. You know, and the sprint is slightly downhill but not too much where momentum's going to play a part. So it's just be about position, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. And how many years have you been on the platform now? 4. Okay. So you've had plenty of time to practice and experiment a bit, I guess. Yeah. Oh man. Oh wow. So sorry, you're going to do one of these Recon rides in a few weeks? Is that right? I hope you're gonna stream it, or and which course are you doing? Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say it's long and complicated, so that'd be good. Yep. Yeah, true. Yeah, depends how big the group is, I guess, as well. Yeah, I'm at kilometre in 19.4. I got on Zwift 2017, and I spent the whole 2017 thinking, I won't swear, but what the hell's this? How do I even not get dropped? in a race. I just couldn't figure out, because I raced on the road since I can remember. So you know, I was one of those guys who came on thinking, yeah, Zwift, it's just like the road. And then, you know, there was guys that I raced with in real life who I knew were slower, but you know, were just absolutely kicking my ass in Zwift races. So I then spent a good few months watching Twitch and YouTube, and I won't say whose channel I was watching a lot, but let's say a reasonably famous UK rider who did something a little bit naughty with a Tron bike, let's say. Yeah, but you know, at the same time, well, you know, Cam Jeffers, despite what Cam did, you know, and I am on YouTube saying it, I've said it before, he's one of the best racers on the platform I'd ever seen at that time. You know, he was very, very skilled. He knew what he was doing. So I just spent ages watching him race live, and same with Nathan Gira. You know, when he was allowed to race, because I don't know if he technically could race the Premier now. I don't think he could. But yeah, you know, a very skilled racer. But I've spent 2 years now not racing in real life at all and just being on Zwift. Yeah. But I'm hoping to get out on the road again this year, if we can. Yeah, I think. I mean, there isn't that many. You know, I guess I've been a cyclist for so long. I haven't got many friends who aren't cyclists. You know, but then I've got, you know, friends who just see me doing this thing on YouTube and they're like, what's this about? But yeah, I mean, to be honest, it still surprises me how many of the real life sort of cyclists or racers that I race with in my real life team still a little bit snooty about it in some ways, which, you know, they're coming round. But I think I'm still very much, you know, I like the traditions of cycling. I like the etiquette and, you know, and stupid little things like the cycling cap. I would never wear it unless I was on a bike, for example. You know, those sorts, those little nuances that we're all like, oh, that's just silly. But I think with Zwift, you just have to accept it is a game. It's something different. It's not the same as racing on the road or cyclocross. You know. But yeah. No, I think that's a really interesting thing, though. I don't know how many countries yet have got, in their sort of, like British Cycle, for example, at the moment don't have a really great setup separately for e-racing, in terms of the management. And we saw it with the issue with some of the Canadian riders, in their sort of qualifiers, for example. It's taking time to get these things organised, and even the governing bodies to get set up and get a hold of it. But it has to come. I mean, for me, one of the big things is children. Just looking at the next generation. You ladies already know how many kids I've got, and I've got a 14-year-old son who loves gaming. He's on FIFA all the time, and I think platforms like Zwift, first of all, have a responsibility, and have an opportunity, both commercially for themselves, but also to help some of these kids who are not active gaming make that transition into more activity whilst gaming. I think there's a responsibility there, so that's pretty important for me. That's something I would really like to help British Cycling do, or Zwift, or whoever it is. And whether it's because I know there are protection issues, but I think there's many other games out there like Call of Duty where there's thousands of kids there playing with adults all the time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think they need to do more of that, and I think it'd be good to add in the competition, because obviously we know that they can't race on ZRL anymore, technically, But yeah, I think setting up some kind of competition for youngsters, with some. Yeah. I think also, I like the gamification, but maybe they've also got to think about, sorry, someone's asking me a question on there as well. Adding more gamification, I think, with the youngsters as well will also help. Uh, Well, someone's asking me about the distances now. There are two things. A, I raced it, and the footage I used as race, so the distances are good. But also, I've got the official race book. Pepper will have it as well, that Swift send out. So I'm pretty sure those distances are correct. I think this gentle recovery ride might actually help me to recover a bit quicker. Same. Yeah, same here, yeah. Where was Tugels today? That's what I want to know. Was he on course? No, I didn't see him. I think Ed. I know Ed won the A group this morning. That I was. Well, I was with the Bs, but trying to chase the A's. Wow. Yeah, he's done the last couple of the Flamme Rouge, I think, hasn't he? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Have you guys got new kit this time? Yeah, it stands out, I think, the kit there. When there's so much black about, that stands out, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and are you emailing Eric every day? I'd have thought now, given the teams, you know, the amount of teams and riders you've got, if you message Eric and Charlie both at the same time, that's what I typically do, then you get something done. But I know they just said to me, I think before Christmas, just wait until the new clubs function comes out, but I haven't seen any dates on that yet. Yeah. Have you got a? Is there a picture of that on your Instagram? Yeah. I haven't seen it. I'll have to go and check it out. Ah, okay. I will go and check that out. Well, I have to say, no problem. Anytime. Hey, no problem at all. Thank you. Have a great evening. Good luck on Tuesday. Thanks. Bye bye. Bye. Thanks. Bye. Matt, this is like my second ride of the day, so I'm squeezing in here, so let me just sort this out. Sorry YouTube, I was that engrossed in the chat that I was having with Team Rave on here and trying to type at the same time. I didn't get a chance to look at these questions. Yeah, 5 kids. Thank you though, Cassie. No, the commentary I'm doing is Thursday night for the time trial. They won't let me loose on the Premier stuff. Yeah, plus the Premier is GCN, isn't it, anyway? And also the community at the moment, I'm racing myself. But yeah, I should be commentating Thursday night on the Platinum League. Hopefully with Nathan. I think it's with Nathan, the main man himself at the Zwift Community Live. So go easy on me because that'll be my first commentary. So be nice and nervous for that one. Thank you for everyone who joined on YouTube. Thank you for everyone who joined on the group ride as well. Thank you very much to the girls at Team Rave. I did get some useful ones. I tried to share it with you guys on YouTube as well, but I'm a guy and I'm trying to multitask. It was an impossible one. But while I've got you, it was a nice recovery ride for me, Matt, because I think I've highlighted some things there. But because I've been doing the Flamme Rouge stage race since last Sunday, and we did a stage Friday night. I forget what stage that was, but it was hilly. Epic Com, we went up the Epic Com on that one, and then Saturday morning we were back on at 8 AM. That was for figure 8 reverse. That was another 50-60 kilometers, 24 hours recovery, and then this morning we did Quest, obviously, which is Titans Grove, Epic Com, out to Zwift, and that was about 2 hours of racing. And so if you get a chance, if you've not done that yet, you want something different, you want a real challenge, the Flamme Rouge Racing stage races. I think the next one in is March, and that's like the Grand Tour. I think he's covering multiple worlds on that one. So check that out, flammerougeracing.com, or just Google Flamme Rouge Racing. I'm not even sure it's the .com. Alright, I'm going to sign off. Family chores this evening. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening, have a great weekend. Hopefully see you guys on Tuesday. Another ZRL. And keep a lookout, Tuesday night the next Recon for the London Classic will be out 8 PM. So finish one race, watch the Recon for the next, even watch it multiple times. Take care.